My name is Matthew Alexander. I'm a developer at HCL, and in this video, I'll demonstrate managing blue-green deployments in OpenShift using UrbanCode Deploy, while UrbanCode Deploy itself is running as a container in OpenShift. This diagram shows the layout of my demonstration. I have UrbanCode Deploy running as a container in OpenShift. UrbanCode Deploy will be managing the deployment of a web application that will also be running in OpenShift. My UrbanCode Deploy database is outside of OpenShift in my demonstration, but it just as easily could be running in OpenShift. Outside of OpenShift, I have an UrbanCode Deploy agent running on a machine that has the OpenShift command line interface and Kubernetes command line interface installed. Finally, my web application's container images happen to be stored in Docker Hub. The goal of blue-green deployments is to have zero downtime. In this graphic, I have an environment labeled blue and an environment labeled green. Version v1 of my application is running in my blue environment, while version v2 is running in the green environment. A load balancer sits atop the two environments. It is currently directing traffic to my blue environment. Once version v2 of my application has been verified as ready for production, I simply update the load balancer to send traffic to the green environment. Let's take a look at OpenShift. If I go to Applications, Pods, I can find my UrbanCode Deploy pod and verify UrbanCode Deploy is running. Before recording this video, I deployed the load balancer and two versions of the web application to OpenShift using UrbanCode Deploy. If I go to Applications, Services, I can see my load balancer. Notice it is sending traffic to my blue environment. If I go to Applications, Deployments, I can see the blue and green deployments of my web application. Let's now open our application in a browser. As you can see, users are being directed to version v1 of our application. Next, let's check out UrbanCode Deploy. Here's our application represented in UrbanCode Deploy. You can see the load balancer is currently directing traffic to the blue environment. Both environments are using the same version of the deployment YAML file. However, the blue environment is using version v1 of the container image, while the green environment is using version v2. Let's say the staging and testing is complete of version v2. Let's point the load balancer to the green environment. The process completes, and if I go back to my application, I see the load balancer is now sending traffic to the green environment. Let's check out the web application and make sure that's true. I'll click refresh, and we see that traffic is now being sent to version v2. Let's say version v3 of my container image is ready for staging. I'll deploy it to my blue environment. UrbanCode Deploy can automatically pull in image tag information from a Docker registry. The process completes. If I go back to my application, I see version v3 has been deployed to the blue environment. Let's go back to our web application. If I click refresh, we see traffic is still being sent to version v2 of our web application. That's because we haven't updated the load balancer. Let's do that now. The process completes, and if I go back to my application, we see the load balancer is directing traffic to our blue environment. Let's check out our web application and make sure that's true. I refresh and we see that version v3 is now being served. I hope this video gives you some ideas on how you can use OpenShift and UrbanCode Deploy together. Thank you for watching.